Hi. Turn over the other way. Hello. Breathed in to talk. Hi, happy day. Thank you for visiting my channel. If you are new here, my name is Miriam. I'm an intuitive. I'm a lot of things. An oracle, a prophet, an earth angel, a Pisces, a 9 life path. I don't know. A wood dog. What else you want to know? ENFJ. Oh, positive. But also, I say stuff, and people for some reason resonate with it. I've been doing this for a couple months now, and I'm at the amount of subscribers that I'm at right now, and that is very wild to me, because I've done YouTube before, and I've done like channels and whatnot, and I was talking about this yesterday. But I put so much effort into it, and I keep hopping on this soapbox. So like, really, if you're finding me, it's because you're supposed to hear this message. It means you're in a current pattern that resonates with the patterns that I have been in. So even other people who are in these comment sections and all of that, most likely y'all are seeing the same numbers, because a lot of times that's what is attracting people. And also y'all have similar life path numbers. And more importantly, y'all are in the same pattern, a similar pattern, which is usually a lack pattern, a afraid to be seen pattern, the fear pattern in general. But a lot of people are in that. Specifically with me, if we want to talk about zodiac, Chinese zodiac, I'm dog. So being a wood dog, I'm about growth with the wood. But then dog is anxious and loyal. So that's an interesting combo. 222 as I say that. Really, hello. A little dust speck just came up from my lamp. And how easy it is to see how big we are in comparison to that dust. And how much effect I have on it just by simply moving my hand. Because there's so much more atmosphere to something so small. Dust in the wind. All we are is dust in the wind. Right? That's probably what you were thinking about. Anyway. I woke up with the song Jericho in my head. I've been having lovely dreams. So many dreams, y'all. So many dreams. It's so many dreams. Extremely vivid dreams. Extremely working through my own cycles dreams. And I almost guarantee, no, I guarantee you're going to be having some wild dreams soon if you haven't already. Even if you're somebody who doesn't dream that often. It's going to be. And I mean, we could say it's the planets, because the planets are doing some stuff. I don't know what stuff. I'm not in the news enough to know what anything's going on. I'm even outside of astrology news. I have to go look it up. I have to go look at the forecast, but I'm not very much super astrology. The numbers kind of tend to be a good translator already of what's going on in the skies. 424, as I say this. As above, so below. The numbers are below, the stars are above. If this isn't, I don't know. I feel like this is supposed to resonate with a good amount of people, but I don't know who's going to get to see it earliest. Who's going to get to see it before. There's certain waves of people who will get to see these videos. And like, because I'll even notice with videos that are from months old, like all of a sudden 505, as I say this, all of a sudden I'm getting all these views, or like just it's like the why did I want to say the Doppler effect? That's whenever like that how the noise goes, like whenever a car is going by and has music, it's like, or like it goes. That just distracted me so much, though. Okay, anyway, okay, I will go on. I just don't know what to say about the Doppler. Okay, the Doppler effect. I see black and white. I'm gonna get in trouble. I'm sorry for all the attitude. It's my 8-day, and apparently I'm a bit more disagreeable on my 8-day. And you're meant to be agreeable on those days. Okay, Doppler effect. Okay, the black and I think it's because there's a diagram of a Doppler effect that shows black and white, and it shows like the spacing of things, of noise, of frequencies. Okay. Oh. What? When you're further away, the frequency is different, and when you're closer, the frequency is different, and you hear it differently based off the frequency. So when you're further away from a lesson, the frequency seems lower, and when you're closer to the lesson, the frequency seems higher. Make a sound. Make a sound, make a ripple. Make a frequent, make a make a sound, make a ripple. The ripple is an energy ripple. I'm not seeing a water ripple. It's like a ripple in time. What's that? How come that one book is coming up to me now? Is it called A Ripple in Time? Or Something in Time? Maybe it is called A Ripple in Time. That was a book. I think it was in as a movie as well. I reread it at one point. I was in my elementary or maybe junior high. I think elementary, like 6th grade. But then I think of A River in Time. I see a river in time. There's something that's like got this like pinch or grip on your ability to act, and it's mainly just the fact that you don't really feel like you're good enough or you're perfect enough yet, or that you've learned enough, or that you're whatever it is. I don't know, whatever enough. You're just not enough. And you're also too much, and you're also 9/11, as I say this. It is crucial for you to completely and wholly get rid of the ego that is holding you back from being seen, from telling your story, from whatever it is. Because honestly, I'm tired of talking about the same thing. Like literally, even y'all, if y'all come and do an interview with me, then that's just part of your story. I promise you, an hour is never going to be enough time for you to tell your entire life story. It is your job to explain why these things were significant specifically to you. You don't have to tell people first. You can tell yourself first. You don't have to do it right now. But even the fact it's about getting started on the journey to where you know that you're headed to do it. It doesn't matter if it's the first step of the journey. It's kind of like going to rehab. Granted, I have not been to rehab. So I'm speaking out of whatever. It's like going to rehab. You can force people to go to rehab and they'll be sober in rehab or whatever. Maybe they'll find drugs in rehab. But if they are not ready to take on that journey, they will just relapse. And even people who have chosen to go on the journey still might relapse because that's part of recovery. Even when it comes to things that aren't so simple as putting a substance in your body. Granted, a lot of times when people 1109 when I saw that 1111. Anyway, because even then, most of the time, whenever people are addicted to substances and they're doing these things, it is for a reason that there's something that they are trying to not feel, something that they are medicating. That includes with our spirit, that includes with our egos, that includes with the ways that we move in this world. And that's really because everything is an addiction. It really is. And like, it's really funny because people really like to just completely remove themselves from other groups of people as if they're like, that's not me, as if things couldn't be them. But there are so many things that people like, oh, there's an addict and it's very clear that they have this drug problem, and then they don't even realize that they're addicted to the news, that they're addicted to other people's dramas, that they're addicted to cheating on their partner, or they're addicted to gambling or sody pop. Naturally, as beings, we become addicted. The way that our body works is through reward systems hormonally. A lot of times people get addicted to drugs because it's like, oh, there's a dopamine hit or an oxytocin or a whatever other thing that makes you feel nice in your brain palace. That's literally how our machines work. And so finding things that do it quickly also means that we lose it quickly, because it's just a fast thing. Like if we need energy and and we have nothing in us, some sugar water can help. Sugar water. And then that'll help. It'll give you a little bit of energy, not for long. In fact, you'll have a crash. Some people will just drink it and okay, now I'm going to go to sleep. But you'll have a little bit of energy. It is then glucose, turning to glucose in your blood. You are able to break these things down and then have energy. And if you are able to get a hold of things that are more sustainable energy that will take longer to break down, and that will turn into the glucose at the end, and vitamins and nutrients and all that, great. Then you'll be able to have more energy for longer. Even with caffeine. Caffeine is one of those things that it's like, it's a really quick, like you'll feel it pretty right away. Nicotine as well. It's an upper. What I notice is that people who have a nicotine and caffeine, they're drawn to it, is usually self-medicating ADHD, or autism, or like those specific things tend to help because it is a stimulant. A stimulant is helpful to focus the mind. And yeah, so sometimes it really is a self medication. Also, whenever you are smoking, you are pulling through a straw that's packed with stuff. And so that causes you to breathe differently. And that is also a self medication of calming down and taking a moment to breathe. Having a cigarette break is really something that helps you go and take a breath. Yes, yes, there's lots of things with cigarettes too that people are like, oh my gosh. A lot of times people who have lung issues suffer with grief. I'm not saying that if you don't grieve, you won't ever have lung issues. Sometimes people are just born with lung issues. Quite literally, I like whenever with my brother, he was a twin, and his twin died in utero at 7 months, and he has pretty big asthma, and he's had it since he was a baby. And it was an identical twin, I think. I don't remember because I was like 2. And I don't know if you've ever met people who have had a twin that passed away in the womb, but there is an interesting loneliness there. There is a very interesting loneliness there because it doesn't matter who's around, it's still not that other being that was meant to have a very special connection. I also think of those twins as 2 twins who lived life. One that did the growth that they were supposed to, and one that accrued karmic debt. The one that was allowed to move on has to then trick the other twin into going into the world again. Because they have a few more lessons to learn and teach. Yeah, that's what it feels like. That's what I think of. I don't know why I'm being called to talk about that. Usually I don't like to talk about like pregnancy and stuff and the loss of a baby and like miscarriage and all that, but I'm feeling drawn to talk about it in this moment. There's something that my mom always says when miscarriages happen. And that's they're making room. They're getting the room ready. They're just getting the room ready. They're coming in and they're getting the room ready little by little. And when that rainbow baby comes, it's perfect for them. And those children are very present in those parents' lives. Oh, getting all choked up about it. It's also very strange because I'll get these babies talk to me more than anything. And yeah. It's not always something you could just go and talk to people about. And be like, hey, did you lose a baby? It's also something I don't necessarily always feel comfortable talking about with people because it's not something that I have experienced in this lifetime. And I am extremely thankful for that. But I tend to attract people like that. People who have gone through that. Their babies tend to share birthdays with my baby. who really came into the world a whole fun way. And I'd known women my whole life who had had miscarriages and lost their children. And so I did fear. I was told to fear by the doctors that my baby was going to not make it through the pregnancy. And it was almost like all those times I heard women talk about their miscarriages and stuff that I had the advice from the women around me, the advice that I gave to people, the energy. And I had my mom. I have my mom. And leaning on a community that understand what it's like to have the ability to give life. And 2112, as I say this, and sometimes the ability, even if it's there, is still a struggle to get to. There are so many ways that women are meant to feel less than, or less whole, because it does really help on a society level keep us from causing trouble, because honestly women are trouble. And feminine energy is trouble. You don't have to be a woman in order to tap into feminine energy. It is a bit more rebellious than masculine energy, because it goes according to the ebb and flow of what needs to vibrate at that time. A little bit more difficult to handle and to navigate. Whenever they say that masculinity is structure and femininity is chaos. And whenever you look at the bodies, and whenever we just talk about the actual physicality of the hormones that are going through the body, there are far more hormones going through. Any female hormones are, there's just a lot more of them. In order to be female, there are a lot more hormones in there to maintain a balance. Because whenever our hormones are imbalanced, we are imbalanced. Not just mentally, but also like physically. We can start growing. We have all the hormones to be whatever we need to, for all the things. At any point, our body can start creating far more testosterone as opposed to estrogen. And then we can start having a lower voice. We can start having facial hair. Sometimes even with PCOS, that's a big thing. PCOS also shows signs by having a shorter period. I was pre-PCOS. PCOS is a diagnosis that you can't really just go and like test your blood and be like, that's what you are. Like, some people have to pee in a cup every time that they pee for like 7 days or something. I don't know. Maybe 8 days. I don't know. But they have to pee all of their pee into different things so then they can test the hormone levels throughout the day, to figure out what's going on with the PCOS. Sometimes there are very obvious signs of PCOS. Sometimes it is hidden signs. And a lot of times what you'll notice is that there is a beginning stage of it. For me specifically, the thing that I cut out of my diet that helped with my PCOS and helped, basically, I feel like, I mean, I don't know, but I'm pretty in tune with my body. I'm in remission of that. I have regular cycles now. I have a longer cycle now, because I used to have a 2 to 3 day period, a very short period. And now I have my regular, I have 5 days. And that's normal. It's not fun. It was nice having a short period, but you know, all of my other things are regulated. Whenever I'm premenstrual, I'm not PMDDing. I am able to breathe. I'm able to move through it. I still can get a little bit more stressed or whatever, but I can then handle the stress. Because the body, whenever your guts are so inflamed, and you're not getting nutrients, and then you're about to lose nutrients, because that's the job. Like when you're shedding your uterine lining, there's so much nutrients being lost, and you're quite literally putting life out into the universe. Your egg is now no longer, it's leaving you. It's an energy source. And so if you have it, there's stuff with that. But anyway, it takes a lot of energy. And so whenever your body's like, oh my gosh, oh no, we are in a thing. This is an issue. Cortisol levels spike. And God forbid you don't eat during that time. You do one of those, oh, I just woke up and I moved around and all I had was coffee. Girl lunch, girl dinner. You had sardines and crackers for dinner? And that's it? Because you were just like, yeah, you're supposed to eat. There's a reason why women, especially if anytime you're premenstrual, there's a reason why you get hungry. And also, there are still like a menstrual cycle for men. Even if you don't menstruate, even if you don't menstruation, that's every day for you guys. It's every day. And a lot of times what people don't realize is that whenever someone is about to menstruate and they're like, "Ooh, are you on your period?" You know, everybody knows that cute little thing. Are you on your period? We have far more testosterone coursing through our blood, and we are more like men during that time, which is another reason why, like right before period, but it's progesterone. It's a false testosterone. It's like it's in the same category. The Erones are rude. They want to fight. They want to get into it. They want to like show like. Also, a little bit, our bodies are a little upset because it has to do so much transition each month. So the hormones really have to spike and really have to increase in order to cause a physical change in the body. And so that seems chaotic. But yet here I am talking to you about all the hormones and all the things. And yes, it's hard and it's a lot of words and I don't remember them all, but I comprehended enough to where if I'm PMSing, I'm going to eat my food. And on the days that because through intuitive eating, and when I actually don't feel like eating, and I see that I'm not ovulating, I'm not premenstrual, I might be like right after my period or something, I can fast on that day. I don't fast often. I fast every once in a while. So if I just naturally am not hungry and I'm just busy doing stuff, and then I'm like, oh, and before I know it, it's 3 p.m. or 2 p.m. or something, then I'll grab something. Sometimes it is until the evening time. But it is being aware of the cycles that I'm in. So I'm being mindful, or it's, myself is now comprehending and mindful of my cycles. Even whenever it comes to number cycles, body cycles, soul cycles. And even now, the biggest cycle that I'm working through are the things that I'm dreaming about. During this time, you are getting told all these things of the cycles that you're in, of whatever thing that's meant to be broken. It's kind of a reminder, like it's going to keep giving you the nudge and the nudge and the nudge and the nudge until, and like, so in September, if you have not been listening to the nudges, or the calls, in September, that's whenever it's just going to be, okay, well, here you go. I told you it was going to be delivered. Here it is. And turns out, like, you're like, what is this? I got to take care of this thing now? You want me to, like, start using this dream on stuff? And, like, you want me to, like, nourish this dream? You want me to bring this thing and now here it is? What do you mean now here it is? We were trying to reach you about your extended car warranty. We sent some mixed girl on the internet to tell you and everything, and you just like it's September. And you heard her say it. So maybe I have mixed feelings about it, but anyway, I'm gonna go do things. I have things to do today. So I'll leave my house. It's cold. It's cold. And when it's cold and you're above the in your 30s like me, I'm in my 30s. It really takes a lot of energy out of you. So making sure that you're warm before you leave your house is good. So then it doesn't drain so much energy out of you. Watching shows drains energy. Everything drains energy. And during the times you don't want to drain too much energy is whenever you're premenstrual. During the times that you don't want to drain too much energy is whenever you're trying to heal yourself. So sometimes we're just gonna hop right off of these things, and you don't even listen to me. You're like, you know what, Miriam? I don't know why I'm making you so country. It's one of the few accents that I can do. I'm from Texas. um, enjoy breaking your cycle. I'm gonna go do stuff. I'm gonna go live life, and I'm gonna go. Yeah. Thank you for listening and all that stuff. I am full of energy now, so thank you, and much love. In the meantime, lovies, you keep an eye out for the numbers, and I think maybe you can stay a little synchronized.